What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learned, the show where, as you guys already know, we chop up all the latest talking points of the latest Chelsea game. This one being our 2-0 loss in the Carabao Cup to Manchester City. Yep, we were in and out at the Carabao Cup like that Abraham Simpson meme. But we move. Not too surprised by how the game panned out. City are just a better side than us, even when it is B team versus B team. We're going to delve into all the main talking points of today's game. So let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe on your way into this video if you guys haven't done so already. Check out my personal channel, Carefree Lewis G. Link will be in the title. Link will be in the description below as well. And yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section as well. Let me know if you agree with any of my points. Let me know if you guys disagree. And let's get straight into it. Now, first off, we did struggle initially, but I think we grew into the game. I think we all know with Chelsea, we're never going to have the greatest of starts. But we didn't go 1-0 down early, which was very, very important for that game. And it kept us fighting. And I don't want the standards to go down, but I keep saying, and I've said it on a lot of my videos and a lot of my streams, we have to understand that regardless of where our standards are at, I don't believe the team can reach those standards. So I kind of understand why we didn't come out of this game as winners. There's areas that frustrated me. There's areas that we could have done a lot better at. But City are just a much better side than us. Their system, their philosophy is already set into the squad. And you could clearly see that in the way that they were playing, which is my first point. The gulfing class between the two sides was just evident. Even though there was areas in our game where I thought we did well. I thought we did the best we could in midfield. We made a lot of chances, more than what we usually make in game. But Ortega was just out of his mind. Like, that's their second string goalkeeper, and he looks like he's better than our goalkeepers, both of them. The midfield, like, we handled ourselves, but when Man City get into full flow, their passing is just so precise and so hard to stop. They are an unbelievable team at progressing the ball, and we know that. And even with their B team, they showed it. Jack Grealish as well. This is a player who I've wanted at Chelsea for years. Looks like the spitting image of what Hazard would have been probably before his prime, massively before his prime. We won't make that sort of comparison, but I do see very similar aspects to their game, and he just looked unbelievable. I feel like if we swapped Havertz and Grealish, maybe both sides would benefit from it, but there was a major gulfing class between the two sides. It showed in that game, and I think people need to take that into account before they make judgments on the individual performances and the way that the manager set up the team too. But in spite of that, there were positives. I want to talk about the standout player from the game yesterday, Lewis Hall. Unbelievable from him. Very unlucky not to score two, but I thought for his second start for the Chelsea first team, away at the Premier League champions, away at the Etihad, he looked so composed. He looked so class. He drove the ball forward with confidence. There was good passing from him. And he got himself into great positions to score. Both of them, I think, you could say he could have done better if he was a more experienced player. For his second start, at the age of 18, I think he did the best that he could. The first shot, I think he sets it up perfectly. It's a nice little cut inside from the left-hand side for him for that first shot. And it was a nice save by Ortega. The second one comes to him on his weak foot. Not really expecting too much. I would like to see him bury it from that range. It is like around 6 yards. But Ortega had a good game. Lewis Hall had a good game. And to me, with us having wing-back issues because now Chilwell's out till February, there is your depth. Right there. There is your depth. Lewis Hall deserves to be brought into the first team. Put him into the squad. Have him in the bench for the most of games. And yeah, rotate when necessary because he played really well. Really well. And that's one of the positives from today. Another positive, Cucurella, a player who has been heavily criticised over the last few weeks. And I thought Cucurella did his job expertly. His progressive passes were good. His dribbles were good. He was in the right position to deal with transitions. He was our best centre-back by an absolute mile. And I think he combined really well with Lewis Hall on the left-hand side too. People have been very, very harsh on Cucurella over the last few weeks, in my opinion. Now, I understand the performances haven't necessarily been up to par, but there's context for that, in my opinion. Cucurella has been suffering from tonsillitis, as we all know, and he's lost a lot of weight as a result of it and hasn't been able to be rotated because of all of our other defensive injuries. And that has clearly had an impact on his performances. I think people have been very, very reactionary on him because at the start of the season, he looked really good. He looked unbelievable when he was playing for us the first few games of the season. And that wasn't just a blip. That is the quality of the player. And I think now we're starting to see him come back into his own a little bit more. Obviously, it is still very early days. Like, he could be poor against Newcastle for all that we know. I wouldn't be too surprised with the way Newcastle have been playing. But in spite of that, I thought Cucurella had a very good performance and just continue to build on it. Continue to build on it. My fourth talking point. Yeah, that's my fourth one. Christian Pulisic. Now, for me, I think Pulisic had a iffy game. I think there was some aspects where his decision-making could have been a lot quicker and we might have been able to muster some better attacks. But he still created a lot of chances. His finishing, like, it needs a lot of work. His finishing technique really isn't good enough. He always does this thing where he starts going down to the ground when he shoots and it's like he's already doing a knee slide. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. But as a player, I still think he did better than what Sterling's done in the last month. I still think he's better than what Havertz and Mount have done for the most of this season. There is an argument to be made that he could be starting the next match. Same thing as Brozier. I don't really have enough time to put him into a point, but I thought Brozier looked very good in terms of asking questions of defenders. He's so strong and so quick for someone of his size. And I think the more game time, the more experience he gets, the better his decision making and his IQ on the ball will be. And you will see a very, very good player very soon. Brozier could be our long-term striker. Really could be. He just has to get his decision-making up to scratch a little bit. But he looked really good too. Pulisic, Brozier, brilliant performances. Would like to see Pulisic be a bit quicker with his decision-making. But I do think it's the rustiness of not having a lot of game time that's also come into account with that too. So I do think he needs to get into the swing of things a bit more. But he deserves that. We've given that to Mount and Havertz for countless games and they're poor. So why not give it to Pulisic? He deserves it personally. My final thoughts, though, are on the attack in general. We do have the worst attack in the top 10. Only 4 shots on target out of 11. And at times in that second half, it just looked like the ball was going anywhere except the net. And the only time we got it in, Pulisic was so far offside, he was off the pitch when the ball was played to him. Mount could have done a lot better when he came on. He overhits passes for fun. Havertz, I don't think there's much he could have done in that game. Didn't get as many touches in as many key areas as Mount did. Sterling was very, very easy to isolate. And other than that, like, the attack and our finishing is just so frustrating. And I don't know when it's going to get better. I'll be real with you. It's been the same situation for so long. But I'm not as annoyed because of this game because it's Manchester City. Well, like, they're the finished article. They're the best team in England, in probably Europe as well. There's a debate for it. And we have fallen off. We're not at that level. I know our standards mean we want to be up at that level and we're going to demand it, but we are not at that level. And the sooner people realise that, maybe the calmer people would be about our team. Potter isn't a miracle worker. He can't turn crap into Champions League winners. We need an entire squad overhaul, and Tuchel would say the exact same thing too. So, to me, Potter needs to be given time. The players, we need to spend this season figuring out who is the right option for us and who we need to bin off. And then we need to work from that and build our squad for the future. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. I've been Carefree Lewis G, and I am out. Big up everybody, and up the Chels.